we try to put ourselves in boxes. The mom box, the fitness box, the career box, the wife box, the responsible woman box, maybe the, alternate ego if I have a little bit too many margaritas box, the church box, maybe the, PTO mom box. And at first, these boxes feel helpful. They give us structure, they give us certainty, they give us an identity. They help us to fit in, they help people to know who we are. But after a while, sometimes these boxes start feeling like cages. I was listening to a podcast recently, and the speaker was talking about how she would get stuck in these identity boxes. I love Tanya Lee. Check out her stuff if you've never listened to her podcast. She's amazing. But she said she'd be in the yoga box for a while. Then she'd be in the weightlifting box, the keto box, the hiking box, the luxury hotel box. And I found myself laughing because I realized I do the exact same thing. I put myself in the clinical nurse educator box, the entrepreneur box, the Lumina Fit founder box, the good wife box, the good mother box, the wild woman box, the successful woman box. And the one that really got to me was the successful woman box. You know the one where you're always productive, you're always doing, grinding, achieving, always checking things off the list, always carrying the weight. You might be the nurturer box. It might be you're always taking care of everyone, making sure that everyone else is okay. But somewhere along the way, I started acting like responsibility and joy could not coexist. And I did this in my 20s. I did this for a long time. I thought I had to choose that I could either be successful or I could be carefree. I could be a good mom or I could be, just a horrible mom, right? No in between, right? Like I had to choose. I could either be disciplined or I could be spontaneous. I couldn't be both. I could either be responsible or I could be fun. But what if that is not true, right? Because it's not. What if the most authentic version of ourselves lives in the space between the boxes? What if the person that God created, whoever God is to you, is who you're really supposed to be? Somewhere in between the boxes, or maybe all the boxes, smashed together. So let's talk about the neuroscience of identity. The brain is constantly looking for patterns and predictability because predictability feels safe, and we all are wired to feel safe. When we repeatedly tell ourselves, I'm a busy person, I'm a perfectionist, I'm the responsible one, I'm the caretaker, and maybe we don't say it out loud, but just in our heads, right? Or maybe we even think in some way, if you were raised like me, that fun is somehow evil or somehow bad, right? Our brains are creating neural pathways around these identities and these beliefs. So eventually we stop seeing these as stories and interpretations, perceptions, and we start to see them as facts. And here's where it really gets interesting. The brain will often protect a familiar identity, even when that identity is limiting us, even when it's not good for us. Like all money's evil, like if you're on, some people that are on drugs, this is part of why it's so hard to get off. Because the known in our brains feels safer than the unknown, even if the unknown is freedom. Even if the unknown is living out your God-given potential. So sometimes growth isn't about becoming someone new. It's about questioning whether the identity you've been carrying is still serving you. Is this serving you today in your life? So this is the realization that changed everything. I realized something recently. I don't actually dislike work. In fact, I love my work. I love my role as a clinical trial educator. I love my role in LuminaFit. I love teaching, speaking, creating content, recording podcasts. I love helping people. I love building LuminaFit. I love traveling. I love being a nurse. I love meeting people, presenting, dreaming. So what drains me, for me specifically, is administrative work. Spreadsheets, emails, paperwork. That's what drains me. The operational tasks that keep everything running. And the problem wasn't that I needed more discipline. The problem was that I was treating my entire life like the administration part, right? So one, yes, I do have to do those administrative tasks, but let me do them in deep work blocks, which is how I work best, on certain days so that I don't feel like my whole life I'm doing this, right? And what can I delegate? What can I delegate to someone else? So I was scheduling my life around productivity instead of energy, around obligation instead of joy, around responsibility instead of aliveness. And maybe you don't need more discipline. Maybe you need more freedom. Maybe you're the type of person that's already proved you're responsible. Maybe you've already proven you're capable and you just need to believe it. Maybe you've already proven that you can achieve. So what if the next level isn't more discipline? What if the next level is permission? Permission to laugh more. Permission to have more joy in your life. Permission to celebrate more. Permission to stop and slow down and recognize your accomplishments. Permission to enjoy life, to sit still and watch a beautiful sunrise or sunset, to rest more, to permission to enjoy your life while you are building it. So let me tell you how I'm romanticizing my life again. I've decided to stop waiting for special occasions. I want beauty in everyday, ordinary moments, even the days when I'm working from home and I'm, having to do admin work. I want beauty even on those days. So I drink tea from beautiful china. I want handwritten letters, fresh flowers to dance in my hotel room after I get done with my work or before I do my work as a break treat to myself after a long day. I want to take myself out to beautiful dinners. I want to go on dates with my man, and I want to go on solo dates. And I want to take my babies on dates. I want to savor my food, to enjoy the deliciousness of whatever it is I'm eating, whether it's biscuits and gravy or a salad. Because joy isn't supposed to be reserved for milestones. I want to celebrate because it's Tuesday. Joy is supposed to be part of the journey. So, let's take a moment to do a few journal prompts. Number one, what boxes have I put myself in? Number two, which of these boxes once served me but no longer fit the season of life I'm in or who I'm becoming as a person? Maybe I used to be in the insecure or the shy box and I'm no longer like that. What parts of myself have I been neglecting in the name of responsibility? Next, when do I feel most alive? What would it look like to add 1% more joy, beauty, adventure, playfulness, or connection into my life this week? If I trusted myself completely, what would I stop restricting? What would I allow myself to explore or do or be curious about or try? Finally, what version of myself is coming back to life? Okay, so now let's talk about your challenge for this week. I want you to do one thing this week that brings you joy. Not because it's productive, not because it helps your career, not because it helps your goals, just because it makes you feel alive. Take the dance class, write the letter, order the tea, go watch the sunset or the sunrise, dance in your kitchen, treat them all like it's your runway or the subway, read the novel, call the friend, send the text, do the thing, because life was never meant to be lived inside of boxes. You were meant to experience life fully. And maybe the next level of your growth isn't becoming someone different. Maybe it's finally giving yourself permission to be all of who you already are. I hear people say, all I care about is my family, or all I care about is my job. Guess what? You can love your family and still have a career. Hello, Proverbs 31 woman who sold her garments. You in the square, you can still be a person that loves your career and also have a relationship with a sweet partner. You can have it all. You can love your job and love the grind and still love to read nerdy books or romance novels in your spare time. You could still love to do crafts or paint or sing or, meet new people. You can have both. You don't have to choose between sensual and responsible. You don't have to choose between sexy and smart. You don't have to choose between, all good and all bad. So until next time, keep moving, keep growing, keep adventuring, and keep shining. You can do anything that you set your mind to. And there's a whole world out there waiting to be explored.
Could see that you're good enough. Try to believe that you're good